The World Bank has revised the international poverty line to be at $3 per day, and this has increased the global poor count. But India has defied the norm and set a benchmark by showing an overall reduction in its poverty. Hello and welcome to Drishti IS. My name is Saloni Nankyolier, and in this video, we look at the factors that are responsible for the overall reduction in India's poverty. So the World Bank has an international poverty line which is used to calculate the number of poor people in low-income countries. So this earlier used to be $2.15 per day, which has now been increased to $3 per day. And the purchasing power parity year has also been revised to 2021 from the earlier 2011 PPP year. So because of this increase, what has happened? A lot more people now start falling into the poor people basket. So the net increase in extreme poverty is 125 million people. Now when I say net increase, it means that the overall increase was supposed to be 226 million people. But because India did so well, India showed an overall reduction in its poverty. So the net increase has come about to be 125 million people only instead of the original 226 million people. Now, what was the need to revise this poverty line? The need was simple, that the data was outdated. We were using 2011 purchasing power parity data, which has now been revised to 2021. So purchasing power parity is a concept that is used to indicate the amount of goods that you can purchase by using the same currency in different countries once you adjust the exchange rates. So earlier we were using 2011's data, and now because the data was outdated, 2011, we are living in 2025, we needed to revise the data. That is the reason that we needed a new poverty line. From 2011 it was revised to 2021, and this is going to give us updated national poverty lines and new consumption data. And this is going to help us in what? In building better and targeted policies, because now we'll know how many people are actually falling into the poverty line. What kind of policies do we need to have in place for them? So for this, we needed to have better and accurate data into picture. And that is the reason that the need was felt to revise the international poverty line. So what is India's poverty picture? We say that India has shown an overall reduction in its poverty, but what does the data say? So the data says that the rural poverty is 2.8% and the urban poverty is 1.1%. These are the figures of 2022-23. You compare them with 2011-12 data. The rural poverty was somewhere around 25% and the urban poverty was somewhere around 13%. Now, if you look at it, there is a striking, remarkable reduction. From 25 to 2, from 13 to 1, there is a great reduction that you can see in these decades. And the overall poverty was 22.9% in 2011-12 versus in 22-23, the poverty is 2.35% if you use the older 2.15 line, and if you use the newer line of $3, the poverty is 5.25%. Either ways, we have seen a reduction from this 22% to 2 to 5%, which again is very remarkable. This is a very encouraging data that has come into picture. We all should be proud about it, so that this is going to help us in formulating better policies. But let us look at the changes or the factors because of which India's impressive performance has come into limelight. So India calculates this data through the Household Consumption Expenditure Survey, or HEES, which is calculated by the carried out by the NSO. So this has been happening since 1950s, and this calculates the monthly per capita expenditure. So this household expenditure index calculates the monthly per capita expenditure both for rural and urban households, and this has told us that our consumption both in rural and in urban areas has increased. So when we say our consumption is increased, which means people are now consuming more, which means they have more, they're consuming more, and then in turn they are coming out of the poverty basket. So this is what has happened. And another interesting thing that we have used to calculate this data is that we have made use of the modified mixed recall period, MMRP method. Earlier we used to use something different, which was URP or uniform reference period. So in uniform reference period, our goods were not divided. When a surveyor used to visit a household, he simply used to ask a question that what is the amount of expenditure you've made or the consumption that you've made in the past 30 days. So the reference point was fixed. It was past 30 days, and the goods were also not categorized into anything. They could be anything. They could be perishables, durables, long term, short term, whatever could be the good. And the reference period was 30 days. Now in the new MMRP method, we have divided the goods to be divided into perishables and long lasting goods. So the reference period has also changed. For perishable goods like your milk, veggies, things that are going to not last for long, the reference period has been set as 7 days. And for durables like your fridge, AC, washing machine, these are not the things that you will be buying every month, right? So for these, the goods, the reference period has been moved to 365 days. Now, why this has been done? This has been done to give us a better consumption picture. Because if you go and ask somebody about the expenditure that he has made in the last 30 days, the person is not going to buy a fridge, AC, TV, washing machine every 30 days. These are long-term assets. These are durables which will stay for longer durations. So you need to have different reference points for different kinds of goods. This is what has happened in MMRP, and this gives us a better and a clearer picture of the consumption of these different households. So now we can figure out that, okay, if the households are actually consuming or not consuming, and if they're consuming more, which means that they can move out of the poverty line. And why has this happened? Because India is seeing an economic growth and rising incomes. This survey has also told us that the urban-rural consumption gap has reduced from 84% in 2011-12 to 70% in 22-23. So our urban-rural consumption gap has also increased because the government has come up with some good social welfare schemes like your MG Narega, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, or Jan Dhan Yojana, or Ayushman Bharat. These are some welfare schemes targeted for the marginalized sectors, and that is the reason that these people are able to consume more to make use of the better goods and services that are there in place and move out of the poverty line. So this overall reduction in consumption inequality is also witnessed by this expenditure survey. So how do you calculate the consumption inequality? Through Gini coefficient. So the Gini coefficient has also shown us that overall reduction in rural areas has come to be 0.237, and in urban areas it has moved from 0.314 to 0.284. So we are now moving towards perfect equality from perfect inequality, which means our consumption inequality is going down. So this is what our survey, our expenditure survey has told us, and this is some impressive data that we have come about. So the impact of India on this global poverty figure is also worth praising, because as we earlier mentioned that the global figures should be around 226 million. Because of the increase in the international poverty line, at least 226 million should be the new people who would be added into the poor people basket. But now, because India showed a great reduction in its poverty, we reduced it by almost half, and we moved to 125 million. So this is a remarkable change that India has brought about on the global level. And why India was able to do it? Because of data accuracy and better policies, and we are shaping these global benchmarks. So that was all for today's video. We saw that the World Bank has revised the international poverty line from 2.15 to $3, and this has brought about a lot more people into the poverty count. But India showed a remarkable reduction in its poverty because of multiple reasons, because of using better data survey practices like using MMRP instead of URP, and by having better social welfare schemes in picture, by rising incomes, by India showing an economic growth. These are some things that have helped India achieve the lower levels of poverty and showcase itself as somebody coming out of the poverty lines on a global platform. So these are some things that India did, but a way forward for India now would be, while we are working well on the poverty sector, there are a couple of things that we need to be mindful of, which are the rising urban youth unemployment and wage inequality. So with poverty, we also need to be mindful about these different social issues that are prevalent, economic issues that are prevalent, and they can also be dealt with by following targeted evidence-based policy. So now that you know what the complete picture of the international poverty line is, let us see if you can answer this question for prelims and mains. So India's revised policy estimates in 2022-23 based on improved survey methods and new World Bank poverty line indicate which of the following. 1. A significant decline in poverty rates despite the raised international poverty threshold. 2. A sharp increase in rural poverty rates due to higher consumption. 3. Reduction in urban-rural consumption gap and inequality. And 4. Decline in poverty rates solely because of lowering the poverty. Which of the statements are correct? 1 and 3 only, 2 and 4 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, or all of the above? Please answer in the comment section below. And practice this question for mains also because it's important for your GS paper 3. Discuss the significance of improved data collection methods such as India's Household Consumption Expenditure Survey in accurately measuring the poverty level. How has this impacted poverty reduction policies and their outcomes in India?
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.